Hello all, welcome to i-tutor Academy. In today's session, we will start with Unit 7, Subsection 6 of MMPC 007, that is Features of Productive Meeting. You just refer the last video, so you will get from Unit 7, Subsection 1st onwards. The first step to make your organization productive begins with the effective meetings. The key to making the most of the time spent in meeting is ensuring that all meeting adhere to 6 core principles. What are that principles? Meeting should have a leader. By leader, we do not mean a boss or a senior person in the organization. Any person who calls the meeting should generally be the meeting chair or a leader. Okay, so it is the leader's responsibility to distribute the details agenda in the advance, assign responsibilities, establish ground rules, moderate discussions, and handle difficult people. Next is purpose should be well defined. It is important for the chair of the meeting to have a clear idea of what output or he is expecting from the meeting. And well defined agenda. Each meeting should have a pre-decided agenda items created by the meeting leader and sent out at least 24 hours before the meeting. Each item should have a time for discussion mentioned clearly in the agenda. Time management. Research states that the people hate long meetings. When it comes to scheduling a meeting, it is better to go short than long. This can be done by assigning the time limit to each agenda beforehand, and the participant should come prepared. Each agenda item has a person assigned who is responsible to carry out the discussions, and it is important that the person responsible should come prepared, and along with the person who is responsible, all participants need to prepare as well by reading through the agenda and any pre-reads along with the thinking about any question they have related to that agenda. Next is leader should be a moderator. Meeting are criticized for losing focus, and people start checking their mobile phones, emails, etc. Start talking with each other or even bring the discussion out of track by talking on irrelevant issues, etc. So activity 3 is here based on this subsection. And features of successful meeting. So time plays an important role. Start and end the meeting on time. Remember, all opinions are valid. Avoid side conversations. Don't encourage anything unrelated to the agenda, and avoid commotion, and issues discussed should remain in the room or maintaining confidentiality. Next is input process and output process, that is IPO model. Meeting can be termed as a form of group communication. They are the most effective way for sharing the information between the members. Input process output theory starts with the members circulating the ideas to achieve desired outcome. It has the following features. Meeting IPO, that is input or process output, is a structured approach to ensure meeting are productive and useful. IPO follows a straightforward process that begins with the desired outcome, then moves on to the process that will be used to accomplish them, and finally to the input for each process step. By making the desired outcome and process visible, IPO improves meeting engagement and creates clarity, alignment, and results. How to create an IPO model? So here is the input process output model is here. You just refer this figure 1. Each step in IPO model has its own importance, where members communicate with each other to decide the perception of the group. The IPO model is considered to be a cybernetic system, which means it is closed circuit. So in output, what is required, decision plans, etc. In process, how will this input be? So first of all, there is an input. Okay, what will be useful to create these outputs? Example, report, data, etc. are the input. And how will these input be used to create the output? And that is, there is an agenda, that is a process, and what is required and decision plans are come out of this output process. So IPO model start with setting goals, then brainstorming to develop the input to achieve those goals. So there is input, there is process and output. Okay, figure 2, there is role of members of the meeting. Manages time, keeps track of agendas, or timekeeper is there, and scriber is there, capture discussions, record minutes, that is scribe. And observer is there, notice how team participate in, monitor how team behave. And energy monitor is there, calls break when needed. Okay. Next is managing conflicts in meeting. Obviously, there is a meeting. There is different kind of people, so there is some out of arguments or conflicts are there. So diversity in participating members like qualities, affiliations, and viewpoints in meeting are ideal to produce the best decision. However, this particular feature sows the seeds of discord. It is an important aspect of problem solving and making decisions. It is a natural byproduct of trying to reach a consensus on a topic or situation. And effective decision making and problem solving required conflict. You implicitly acknowledge the benefit of diversity, the very same diversity that guarantees conflict. Definition of conflict. A variety of definition exists for conflict. The best one is given by Hawker and Wilmot. Conflict is a express struggle between at least two interdependent parties who perceive incompatible goals, scarce resources, and interference from the other party in achieving their goals. Positive and negative outcome of conflict. Conflicts in meeting have both positive and negative outcomes. Some potential benefit of conflicts are it can produce a better understanding of issues and people. Human beings have a tendency to assume that people see things and feel as they do. And when in the meeting, the participant discover different opinion on the issues, they become uncertain about their own position, seek actively to get more information about the issue, are able to take the perspective of the other member and make an informed decision. Next is conflict can be motivated. Conflict in meeting actively involves people. They pay close attention to the issue. Conflict can produce better decision. Conflicts tell us the people disagree. Then we explore why they disagree. Eventually, the group finds flaws and tries to work upon them so that the outcome satisfies everyone. Conflict can produce cohesive among group members. When the participant experience and resolve conflict successfully, the members develop ties that hold the group together. All the conflict are beneficial. We all have seen how harmful they can be. Conflict can you cause bad feelings. People at a time when disagreeing with each other lose their temper. They might use hurtful language that may cause bad feelings and can spoil relationship forever. Conflict can lower group cohesive, and not all conflicts lead to group cohesiveness. And if people feel that they are not valued in the group, they may not like to contribute, and conflict can be destructive. The major unresolved conflict may lead to time waste without reaching the decision. Therefore, it is important to manage the conflict and make the meeting productive. Next is meeting etiquettes. What is etiquettes? Meeting places you in front of employees and employers with whom you may not work on a regular basis. As a result, how one act in the meeting could create a lasting impression. Barbara Pachter, a career coach and author of the book The Essentials of Business Etiquette, suggests following 10 meeting etiquettes are you should know. Be on time. It is very important. Time is very important. And make introduction to know others and to let others know you. It is good tradition to begin a meeting by introducing each member to the team. Have a strong agenda. Strong agenda helps to keep the discussion on track and sit appropriately. The way you sit in the meeting help you get involved and heard. Speak up. Meeting are called to hear your opinion on issues, so speak up. And understand the unwritten speaking rules. Some rules are universal. You may disagree with the people, but rude and aggressive interjections may damage your reputation. Do not take phone calls during the meeting. It is very bad manner to talk on the phone while others are discussing something important. Do not drink and eat during the meeting. Clean up after yourself, and do not save all your questions for the end. Ask your questions at the appropriate time. Okay. And these are some etiquettes of the meeting. And next is effective decision making in group communication. Every organization growth is driven by the ability of management to make effective decisions. The quality of decision depends largely on the efficacy of communication within the organization. For decision making, meetings are held at various levels in the organization. Hence, communication plays an important role in reaching an effective decisions. Small group communication refers to the act of communication among three or more people for a common goal or purpose. They are used in different settings such as work group, social event or influence group, and small group communication is an essential part of group decision making, and meetings are a way in which group communication works. Functional theory of communication. The functional theory, also called the functional theory of group communication, is a set of statements, beliefs, and claims that attempt to explain how and why communication affect the quality of decision made by a group. It explains how communication influences group decision making and how communication should be structured to make better decisions. This theory was first proposed by Dennis Goran and Randy Hirokwa in 1983. They states that three influences shaped by the theory, and John Dewey's work on reflecting thinking, and Robert Bale's work on interaction process analysis, and Irvin James' work on watchful decision making. So in this method, he suggested that the John Dewey suggested that the reflective thinking is the key to solving the problem, and gives 5 steps, which are as follows: finding the difficulty or problem, where and what is the problem, and proposing possible solutions, determining the consequences of the solution by reasoning and implication, accepting or rejecting a solution by experimenting or observing them. The second influence was of Robert Bale in his work Interaction Process Analysis IPA, and he stated that small group communication is influenced by the ability of group members to deal with the functional problem. He identifies 4 functional problems, which are adaptation, instrumental control, expression, and integration. Bale's work highlighted the role of interpersonal behavior and personality in group communication. In 1970, Bale developed the three-dimensional model of interpersonal personality in the book, that is SimLog, that is System for the Multiple Level Observation of Groups, which was considered to be an extension of IPA. This model helps in determining the personality of group members. And according to the work, a vigilant group should follow the following steps to reach the solution, that is, analyze all possible alternatives or solution, analyze objectives to be achieved, examine all risk and benefit of alternatives, search all relevant information, unbiased processing of information, and reassess alternatives concerning risk and benefit, planning implementation of selected alternatives along with the contingency plan. Okay, so here is each of these influence highlight the functional nature of the communication. Hence, according to the functional theory, a group should adopt the following practices to achieve the purpose of a group meeting and make an effective decisions. So these are some points. You just follow your IGNOU study material also parallel this lecture. And in light of this practice, communication plays 3 different roles in group communication: positive, disruptive, and counteractive. Each of these role is defined as follows: positive role, the group is able to complete the functional requirement successfully; and the disruptive role, it serves to create a roadblock that obstruct or prevent the group from meeting any of the requirement for effective decision making. Counteractive role, it serves to nullify or neutralize a communicative act that has had a disruptive effect. Okay, and practice the following practices were suggested in addition to the initial 5 mentioned above. Okay, so these also the helpful for the effective decision, and these theories give an idea of how group perform in the meeting, and based on the performance of group the decision is taken. Okay, so you just go through your IGNOU study material, and in between any doubts, you just contact us anytime. Meeting, there is a summary of this unit is there. Meeting have both advantage and disadvantage. To make effective use of meeting, a number of things need to be reviewed. The first and most important one is to identify the meeting's objective. Once it is clear, it is important to consider pre-meeting arrangements. This involves who should be invited to the meeting, what should be the agenda, and which additional information should be shared with the participants, and what should be the physical or virtual arrangements. Overlooking any of this may impact the effectiveness of the meeting, and the unit highlights that conflict are inevitable in meeting and are also essential for productive output. Handling the conflict effectively will bring positive result, which can be achieved by following proper meeting etiquette. So the unit also discussed the various theories for effective decision making. So keyword section is here. If you feel any words are difficult, you just refer this section. And self assessment questions also here, you must do this because it will help you for your term and examination. It is very important, like your assignment also. So first question is from the list given below: identify meeting type, carry out internet research to learn about the need and purpose of the given meeting, that is internal project review meeting, board of directors meeting, town hall meeting, media brief, etc. And second question is, think about the project you worked on with the others and step back and reflect on the meeting you had with the project team members. How did the environment, topics, and participants contribute to the communication at those meetings? And the third question is, how can a conflict be positive in meeting? And fourth is, remember a meeting in which you handle conflict, and have you tried a unique approach, and was that conflict turned out to be positive? So these are four questions from the unit 7, and reference is there. And the next unit we will discuss on next video. This is about today's section. If you have any doubts, you just contact us anytime. Thank you so much. For more MBA videos, you just do like, share, and subscribe our channel. Thank you so much.
i-tutor Academy presents IGNOU MBA complete syllabus coverage classes for individual students, semester-wise subject with online and flexible timing. For more details, contact on +916 238 21785.